Hello again, my fellow beatmakers, producers, artists, creatives. This is Strat Carter from Strategic Audio, and welcome to a new video. Now, this video is probably going to be a bit short and sweet. It's just based on the fact that I really wanted to share my process when it comes to making some of my favorite types of beats, and that is the jazzy, soulful, boom bap, almost like lo-fi kind of style beats. If you've watched anything on my channel for a while, you would know that I'm really into making soul, emulating vintage soul samples and creating loop kits and sample packs in that realm and in that genre. But my favorite type of hip-hop is that original grimy boom bap and that jazzy Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Native Tongues kind of style of hip-hop. I'm from the old school. There are no two ways around it. I am from the old school. And with that said, I wanted to get into, like I said, my process behind making this type of beat, and very specifically the jazzy style in this particular case, because I wanted to talk about how powerful the use of the diminished chord is for this genre. So let's hop right into it. I'm going to try to cook something up with a very simple chord progression and just talk a little bit about how I use the diminished chord and why, and that's it. So let's go. Alright, so check this out. This basic chord progression is going to be the basis for this beat. I'm playing in the key of C minor, and I started with a C minor 9th chord. Then it came down to a G sharp major 9. Back to the root again, C minor 9th chord. Of course, I'm doing these little expressions here at the top and ending it off with a G minor 7th chord. And the feature of this particular progression that's the most interesting is this chord right here. This is a B diminished chord. At the end, I'll talk a little bit about why this diminished chord is so special. Let's continue finishing up this beat. Notice I'm not quantizing, and I'm playing this live on my MIDI keyboard. There are some elements that I might draw in later, but I love the human element to this genre, and the best way to get that human element, if you know how, if you have the ability, is to play like if you're playing a real piano. So that piano was from Piano Tech 8, really great piano plugin, and I'm gonna add a Rhodes layer now, and that will be Arturia's Stage 73V plugin. Take a look at the MIDI here for the Rhodes. It's the same exact chord movements. The difference here is I didn't play any 9th chords. I used the 7th chord in each case. So it's the C minor 7 to the G sharp major 7, back to the C minor 7, down to the G minor 7, and then ending off with the B diminished. So now we've got a grand piano, a Rhodes piano, a sax, and a bass. I have a guitar loop that I've played before that will fit this key that I'm going to add in. Then I'll do some drums. So if you look at what I did, I drew in the hi-hats, but I drew them in purposely off the grid and with this alternating intensity and velocity to try to replicate the kind of swing and groove of a drummer when in this style when he's playing his hi-hats. Right, so I think that's it. I don't think I can add anything else. I don't want it to be too busy or anything. I just want it cool and chill and laid back, just like how this is. Let's do some editing and a little mixing, sprinkle a little magic on it, and be right back in 1 second. All right, so I did some mixing and editing and everything sounds pretty cool now. I just want to play the finished beat or finished sample, and you can drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. What I really wanted to get into is this. Number one, this could be considered jazz hop. I don't know if you've ever searched jazz hop on Spotify or YouTube, but it's this style of music that you hear is very boom bap, but it's very jazzy as well. And the first element that really adds to the feel, that jazzy feel, is the use of the ninth chord. This first chord, if you listen, that's C minor 9. That's so jazzy and soulful, right? And same thing with the second chord. But the thing that really pushes it over the edge is this transition at the end right here from the G minor 7 into the B diminished chord. It sounds weird, doesn't it? That last chord sounds almost like it shouldn't fit. But it fits because of the harmonic minor scale. This note, this B, this wouldn't normally be in the C minor scale, but it's in the harmonic minor, the C harmonic minor scale. And it's the first note in the B diminished chord. How do you build a diminished chord? So diminished chords start with the root, the minor third, and the flattened fifth. So with B diminished, for example, B minor would have these three notes. This would be the root, B, D. Just as in the diminished chord, you have your B and you have your D. But the fifth in the B minor chord is F sharp. However, in the diminished chord, the fifth is F. And it's weird. It's dissonant. And it creates tension that needs to be resolved. And it resolves back to the C minor root. And it's really jazzy. So one of the things that can help you in kind of most cases, if you're doing this style of music, is if you want to incorporate the diminished chord into what you're doing, remember where you are. Remember what scale you're in. If you're in the C minor scale and you're going to be starting with C minor as your one chord. C minor or C minor 7 or C minor 9, whatever you're doing. One semitone down is B. One semitone down from C is B. So this is probably not a rule that can't be broken, or I should say, this is probably not the only guideline for using diminished chords in your progressions. But one avenue to find a good diminished chord that fits is to go one semitone down from your root. So if your root is C minor, one semitone down from C is B. And the diminished chord works because within the scale of C minor, you have D and F. The only thing that doesn't fit in the natural C minor scale is the B, but it fits in the harmonic minor scale. But it's weird and it wants to resolve back to that. And it's really beautiful. You can play it just like I played. And it begs to go back to the start. You can't just leave it there. It's asking a question. Where are we going to go from here? This isn't it. You can't end there. Bring it right back around. So that's it. I just wanted to talk about how great diminished chords can be for this style and how you can use them. How to build them, the root, the third, and the flattened fifth. The fifth for the B minor chord normally would be this, but when you flatten it, you just bring it a semitone down. So you get B, D, and F, which must resolve up here. So that's how you build it. And if you're looking to use it, always remember where your one chord is, or maybe what scale you're in, so you would know that, okay, C is my root, C minor is what I'm playing in. So one semitone down is where I can build my diminished chord. The diminished chord, one semitone down from C minor, is B diminished. And it works, and it elevates your chord progressions up from just a simple natural minor scale, C minor to G minor to G sharp major, or any kind of combination like that. It elevates it and makes it more interesting. Anyway, this beat isn't really a beat that I'm going to post anywhere, but the melodic element, the melodic element is a sample that you can download for free from the link in the description. And you can go to my website and check out all of the music production resources I have there. I say music production resources like that's like it's some grand website. Right now it's really just loop kits. There's going to be some preset banks for Analog Lab on the way, but right now it's just loop kits. They're very musical, they're very soulful, and they can perhaps add something organic and musical to your productions if that's the style you're into. So if you like the video, if you like the explanation and the look into why I do this type of thing or how I do it, drop a like, subscribe, it helps. And yeah, if you're not really a piano player or a keyboard player, but you're trying to do your own thing, use this technique. If you're not interested in using music theory at all, grab some samples and produce that way. That's hip hop. Hip hop is all about sampling. It's always been that way. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk any longer. I'm gonna go. Peace. Thank you for watching, and until next time.